Good morning, students. Today we will continue our chapter further, chapter 9, combustion and flame, with the topic conditions necessary for combustion. What are the conditions necessary for combustion? There are three necessary conditions for combustion. First one, availability of combustible substance. If you want to burn a substance, if you want combustion of any substance, then the substance must have combustible nature. It must have burning property. Means that substance, if burns or catches fire easily in the presence of oxygen, known as combustible substance, then only burning or combustion takes place. For example, substances like alcohol, CNG, LPG, petrol, diesel, wood, cow dung cakes, all these are combustible substances which catch fire easily or burn easily in the presence of oxygen. So, we must have these kind of combustible substances for combustion, for burning. So, overall we can conclude that we need a combustible substances so that substance can be burnt in the presence of oxygen easily. It can catch fire easily in the presence of oxygen. So, a substance is to be burnt must have combustible or burning nature. Now, second one, presence of a medium containing supporter of combustion such as oxygen. It means if you want to burn any substance, then already I told you burning or combustion takes place in the presence of oxygen, because oxygen supports, helps, favors in the combustion, in the burning of that substance. So, for burning or combustion of any substance, it is necessary that there must be oxygen in the surrounding medium or air. In the presence of oxygen only, burning or combustion of any substance takes place. So, second point is there must be the presence of supporter of combustion in the medium, such as oxygen present in the air helps a substance to get burnt easily. To prove this point, to show this point that presence of oxygen is necessary for combustion, we can perform an activity. In this activity, we take two lit candles. First lit candle we place on a plate, another lit candle we place on another plate. Now, keep this lit candle open. You need not to cover this lit candle. On the other hand, cover this lit candle with a glass jar. Remember one thing, this glass jar must have height more than lit candle. Now, what do you observe? We observe that this lit candle keeps on burning, whereas this lit candle stops burning after some time. Why does this happen? This happens because this lit candle is uncovered. It is not covered by any barrier. So, it gets supply of oxygen continuously. So, it burns in the presence of oxygen continuously and keeps on glowing. While in this case, this lit candle firstly uses all the oxygen present in the air of glass jar. After being used up, now no more oxygen is left in the glass jar, and this lit candle is not getting oxygen from inside air because that is used up, and from outside also it is not getting oxygen because this glass jar cuts the supply of oxygen from outside to the inside lit candle. So overall this lit candle is not getting oxygen. Now its burning will not continue. So it will stop burning and it will be extinguished. So this shows that oxygen is necessary for combustion because a particular substance burns in the presence of oxygen only. Oxygen supports or helps in the combustion or burning process. There is one more supporter of combustion, that is fluorine. Even fluorine is an excellent supporter of combustion. It is more reactive than oxygen, so it supports or helps in the combustion process up to a great extent. But in nature, in atmosphere, oxygen is abundant in amount. It is in 21% by volume as compared to that of fluorine. So usually oxygen is used for the combustion process. Now, third point. Before moving to the third point, I will clear you one important point, that is there are some gases which do not support combustion or burning process, that are nitrogen, carbon dioxide, etc. So here in this air oxygen is exhausted, but other gases carbon dioxide and nitrogen are present, but that do not support or help in the combustion process. So it will stop burning, it will stop glowing. So these gases are called non-supporters of combustion or burning. Now third point, presence of appropriate ignition temperature. For this, let us have an activity. Take 2 lit candles. Now, over the flame of first lit candle, hold a paper cup. Now, over the second lit candle, hold another paper cup containing water. First paper cup is empty, it is not containing water, but second paper cup is containing water. So you have to keep or hold these paper cups over lit candles. Now what do you observe? We observe that this paper cup starts burning, but this paper cup does not start burning. Why? Because here flame of the lit candle produces heat, because candle is burning, its wax is burning in the presence of oxygen to produce heat and light. That heat is reached to the paper cup and increases the temperature of paper cup. At that temperature, it starts burning, it catches fire. So it gains that minimum temperature where it catches fire or starts burning, known as ignition temperature. So here it reaches to its ignition temperature due to the heat produced by the flame of the lit candle. So after attaining ignition temperature, it starts burning, it starts catching fire. But here what happened? Burning of candle or wax takes place in the presence of oxygen, which produces heat and light. This heat is supplied to this paper cup, but this paper cup is containing water. Due to the water present in this paper cup, it again and again lowers down the temperature of this paper cup. Now what is happening here? This heat is supplying to this paper cup, is trying to increase the temperature of paper cup, but this water present in the paper cup is lowering down the temperature of paper cup. So here paper cup is not able to attain its minimum temperature, or we can say ignition temperature, where it catches fire or starts burning. So this activity shows that a substance can burn at its ignition temperature. If it is not able to attain its ignition temperature, then it does not burn, it does not catch fire. So attainment of ignition temperature is very much necessary for combustion. Okay, ignition temperature is the minimum temperature or optimum temperature where a substance catches fire or starts burning. So third necessary condition is presence of appropriate ignition temperature. So it is essential, necessary that if a substance is to be burnt, that substance can be burnt at its ignition temperature. So we have to provide that substance its ignition temperature by heating it, so that it can attain its ignition temperature where it can catch fire, it can burn easily in the presence of oxygen. Ignition temperature varies from substance to substance. Some substances have very low ignition temperature, means they can catch fire or start burning at a very low temperature, such as alcohol, LPG, CNG. These are also known as inflammable substances which catch fire or burn easily in the presence of oxygen at a very low temperature. So at a very low temperature they start burning, they catch fire in the presence of oxygen. So they have very low ignition temperature. Now on the other hand, there are substances which have very high ignition temperature, means they burn or catch fire at a very high temperature. So we have to provide them a lot of heat, a large amount of heat to that substances, so that they can catch fire or start burning in the presence of oxygen. Such as metals. There are many metals like iron, copper. If we want to burn iron, copper, then we have to provide a large amount of heat to them, so that they can reach their very high ignition temperature at which they start burning or catch fire in the presence of oxygen. So these are three necessary conditions, basic conditions for combustion. If one of the condition is absent or missing, then combustion will not take place. So all the three conditions are essential, necessary for combustion to take place. This is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.